I don't see it as being a big issue, right? So this is one of those things that the relationship has deteriorated over a period of time. We're basically writing right now a focus idea on Boeing that we'll publish in the Bloomberg terminal. And as we're doing that research, right, we took another look at when we saw orders from the Chinese airlines for Boeing. And there's been like 15 or 16 this decade. I think 15 came in, I think, last year, of 242 orders from China that are on the books right now. The last real material size in orders from the big Chinese airlines we saw back in 2018. So this is a relationship that's been broken for a while. Frankly, the Chinese haven't really been, like I said, ordering from Boeing. So the bigger issue here, I think, is Boeing delivering some of the airplanes they've already built for the Chinese. Like I said, there's some 240 of them sitting in the order books. I suspect a bunch of them are already made, and Boeing would like to get rid of them. Part of the shadow factory elimination they're trying to do to streamline operations. It's a pain in the neck to have an airplane on the tarmac that's sold that you've got to maintain, but the customer isn't taking delivery of. It'll slow that down. I think it might hasten some of Boeing's push to sell some of those airplanes. The Indians have bought a bunch of them. Maybe they're game for more. But I just don't. This is China admitting what they've already been doing, frankly.
So, George, what exactly is the goal here? I mean, to your point, and also Jefferies analysts, they're noting that Boeing has largely de-risked from China. They said that the country contributing roughly about 5% of the skyline over the next couple of years, but also a source of upside. What do you think the goal is here if there seems to be marginal impact here to Boeing?
Yeah, look, I think it's splashy, right, for the Chinese to make this kind of commentary. And look, I do think there's potentially some upside. So look, there's a couple things that's been going on, right? China, one, is growing a lot slower since the pandemic. Prior to the pandemic, China would take in 300 narrow bodies a year. More than half of them would be Boeing. And so, since the pandemic last year, we saw about 150 deliveries of narrow bodies into China. They were Airbus airplanes. So, and look, in a global trade battle, China could see a diminishing GDP, right? This is a country growing 8% last decade, 4-ish% this decade. But if they get that, if they decide they're going to negotiate with the U.S., they get some of that growth back on the rails. I think inside some of that negotiation, you could see a requirement to order Boeing airplanes. Donald Trump cut a similar deal in his last administration. So there is some silver lining. And like I said, I think the Chinese they know that Boeing's one of our biggest exporters. They know they'll get some good headlines out of saying we're not going to take any more Boeing airplanes. But again, I think this is a microcosm of the U.S. economy getting uncoupled from China.